Hey everyone, this is Michael Anthony Adams. I'm here to talk about a documentary series I've been working on for the past few months. It's called Real Monsters. We have about 3 episodes out right now with tons of social content. If you haven't seen any of it, log on to abc10.com right now /Real Monsters, where you can check out all of our content and get you up to speed on the case. In a nutshell, this case has to do with the killing of the Jacobs family. The family was found slain in their home in January 14th, 1991. After the murders, at least 8 detectives were assigned to the case to work it in the early days, but 28 years has gone by and no answers have been found. The motive of the killings was a safe that the Jacobs were holding onto for a friend. That safe was opened and contents were taken out of it, and there's been many theories about what was actually inside the safe, but police have pretty much figured out that it was money and drugs that were taken from it. Since first airing our series, a lot of tips have been coming into police about who may be responsible for the murders. Now you'll hear from the current cold case detective on the case to find out what he knows.
My name is Pat Higgins. I'm a cold case investigator for the Sacramento Police Department. It's the ultimate crime as far as, somebody's been killed and the person thinks they got away with it. And the fact that, people are interested to know that years, decades later, the killers can be brought to justice after they've thought they escaped.
How many people do you believe were involved in this case?
It would just be a guess, but I would say at least 3.
Why can you clearly say there's more than one?
Just, it seems on the sequencing, or on how it is to have one victim killed in the garage, and then a struggle inside with Marcy, and then the little girl being in the bedroom. It just seems like it'd be somewhat difficult for one person to carry out all 3 of those crimes. Like I said, we have a person of at least one person of interest that I know is very worried about this case.
The purpose of this press conference is to solicit your help. We want to solve a crime, and we believe the killers are still out there. And we want to offer a $50,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and prosecution of those responsible for Marcy and her family's murder.
Since this summer, we've received a lot of information that substantially moves the case forward. And like I said, I think the biggest impediment now is the new law. Prior to this, there was a felony murder rule. If you went in and were involved in a murder during another crime, such as a robbery, a home invasion, you going inside and being a participant in that was enough. We didn't have to prove, that you were the shooter. What that presents, though, in this case is all the witnesses were killed. Even though we have people of interest, how do we show that they're major participants? So it's a major issue for the prosecution of homicides, especially cold case homicides when you have multiple people involved.
Now that 3 episodes have aired, you have a lot of questions, and I totally understand that. So I'm going to take some time and address some of them that I've been getting on social media. This first one says, did the police have leads or persons of interest they didn't have 3 months ago? Unfortunately, no. Police have pretty much always known who the principal actors are in this crime. It's just finding the evidence to tie them to the crime. That's what they're having trouble with. This next question is, are the police or are you going to publicly name the persons of interest or suspects? It's not up to me to publicly name someone that hasn't been charged with a crime. That's really up to the police to do. I do know that they're getting closer. They have generated new information over the summer, but unfortunately, right now, no one has been named or publicly named in this crime. This next one says, I would like to know if DNA was obtained that identifies the murderers. We did hear from police that DNA was obtained from the scene. All that DNA was sent out for testing. Unfortunately, all of it came back negative for any hits in the DNA system that police are using. Another question I got was the detectives seemed to express at the end of episode 3 that they know with certainty the involvement of at least one person. Would that be correct, and what was this person's relationship to McCarthy and the Jacobs? What police have said to me was that they've been able to identify this person of interest by knowing that this person was, in fact, a friend with the McCarthy family and the Jacobs family, and they were able to tie that person because of the link between the three. Another question we received was in episode 3, the police detective was certain Ricky was taken at gunpoint and killed. Is that speculation, or do they have definitive information to back that up? Police have received lots of information regarding this case, especially when it comes to where Ricky McCarthy's remains have been put and what happened to Ricky McCarthy. They do believe that after 30 years he didn't just disappear, that he was killed, but the theories of how he was killed and why he was killed have been many. It's ranged from that his body was buried underneath a driveway to dumped in the American River. Now, I've been getting a lot more questions on social media. Unfortunately, there's some questions I just am not able to answer. It's sensitive information that's pertinent to the case. I don't want to disrupt the police investigation that's currently ongoing, but please continue to send me your questions and I'll do my best to answer them.